It's just that I'm trying to record in Zoom for our YouTube channel and at the same time for you guys on Instagram. So we'll see how it goes. Probably I won't see the chat all the time, or maybe I can put it like this. Is it too weird? Yeah, if I look at you in this camera, then here it looks weird, right? Well, I don't know how the experts do it, how they pro that, you know.
They are pro, Pati, they are pro.
They're pro, we're not. Yeah, that's why. Well, hello, Daniele. It's so nice to speak with you.
Hi,
I'm
guys.
so excited.
Hi, everyone. Hi,
yeah,
everyone.
well, people is starting to connect, so we can just continue the lovely chat that we were having. You were saying that you got some freedom from the office. They know that you were doing this interview, actually?
No. I just yesterday.
You lied to them.
Yes. So yes, I'm gonna go to the office after the interview, and so we are. I'm going to the office right now, but we are a few people. So they're applying all the COVID protocols. Yes, masks and.
That's interesting, actually. So you go into the office on regular basis, or do you have, what is exactly the protocol? Because just so you know, guys, Daniele works for a pretty large firm in LA. How many of you are in the office right now?
Right now, in this moment, we are just 9 or 10 people totally.
Yeah, but I mean, working remotely, you're over 100.
Yes, usually like during normal times, we are almost 80 people.
80 people.
80 people, yeah.
Just I remember when I visited your office, you were not there yet, I think. It was...
No. I was in Italy. I was waiting for an answer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but I mean, you've been already for like a year, right? Over a year.
Yeah. I got here. It was February.
We were almost. We almost crossed paths. I was visiting your office back in, well, not this December, a year ago. That was actually my last trip to the US before all this craziness started. And
it's been also my last one.
Yeah, your last trip. You haven't gone to Italy at all.
To Italy, no. I'm gonna talk about it, but basically my story was I was hoping to come back to Italy for basically for spending the summer there with my family, friends and everything. I was very, very happy, and I booked actually the flights, but at some point I started having issues with for coming back to the US actually, because it was the med period, the crazy period where when nothing was sure. So
we were not recommending you to try.
Yes, exactly. So instead of going to Italy, basically I spent.
I know where you went to.
But it was in December, not during summer.
Well, tell everyone. I mean, we follow you on social media, on Instagram, I think, and we were like, okay, Daniele, thank you. You were in Hawaii, right? So
sorry,
not
guys,
too bad.
I'm sorry, but I really needed to do something because I needed to escape from this reality,
We excuse you. But okay, so I think that we can start. I mean, we have some people here. It will be super lovely, guys, if you tell us where you are from, where you are connecting from. So then we know if we have some Italians here for Daniele, say hi. Well, everyone can say hi. But I mean, just knowing where you guys are connecting is always a nice way to start because, we like to feel like a family. And knowing everyone is saying hi, but no one is saying where they're coming from yet, but we'll see. Okay, never mind. Feel free to let us know when you want. So this is the first, Argentina, okay. Spain, good. Ecuador, lovely. Okay, well, Italian too? I'm sure that you let your friends
Dorothea.
know, right?
Hi, Doro.
Okay. Oh, he's a friend of you? That's lovely.
Yeah.
Now your ego is going bigger, right?
Oh, no.
When you have, no, I'm kidding. When you have friends around, it's always nice.
Yes, no, I posted some Instagram stories, with the time for the interview. So I hope some of my friends will be joining us.
Yeah, we have people from Sicily and Milan, Russia. This is lovely. I mean, this is when I get super excited. I always start with the same question just because I love to see that we, get people from different parts of the world and probably with different backgrounds and, expectations and career paths. So it's great. So you are all
Absolutely.
welcome. And I was saying that today we're having Daniele here because I think that all our interviewees are special for one reason or the other, but I think that when I read the answers that you provided us with the questionnaire, we always ask our participants about, some questions just to know a little bit more about them. And when I read you, I don't know, you made me go backwards on time and remember when I was, back at school thinking, okay, what I have to do, I want to be, getting to that point or getting to work for that company. So getting excited about the opportunities that the career was going to bring me. And
it's a good run.
Yeah, and I think that the title of the interview represents you pretty well, determination and courage, I think. So Daniel is going to explain us how he actually got to the point where he was, and how he could get a job by himself. In this case, we didn't help him, within 30 days in a very hectic trip, right? So
yes.
Tell us a bit about your background. So you're an architect, right?
So yeah, I graduated from the University of Palermo in Sicily, where I actually come from. So I'm from Palermo. I'm from Sicily, and I studied there I got my master's degree there in architecture. And so actually my very first year was I tried engineering, but it was not my thing. So
but what type of engineering, in what major?
Sorry, what type of what?
Engineering studies. It was civil engineering.
It was civil engineering. So close to architecture, but
I was going to say
far
within the industry.
At the same time.
Yeah.
So I got my master's degree in architecture there in Sicily from Palermo, and then literally after 2 days after I graduated, I moved to Milan because I wanted to attempt an interior design postgraduate master. So I moved there after 2 days, so I didn't have time for
really think about
celebrating with friends. So it for my
graduation.
Mm-hmm. Yes, for my graduation. So everything was very fast. I didn't want to waste time, and so after 2 days, I started my interior design postgraduate master at Politecnico of Milano.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a very nice program actually, and it's been a very nice experience because sometimes at university we don't have time, or maybe just the program is just different, and it's very rare for you to study also interior design. So I wanted to discover more about interior design. So after 1 year, I started working in Progetto CMR. Is one of the
biggest.
Yes, it's one of the biggest firm in Italy. So I was very lucky because it's been my very first contact going out from my master.
But I mean, you didn't have any experience before your master's? I mean, you just literally move and start?
Just an internship, required from university, but it was just 3 months basically. So it was my very first working experience there in Milan.
And how did you actually get it? Because it must be Well, I know that is difficult. And sometimes that is one of the common questions from our community, like, how can I get my first job without having any previous experience?
True.
So that was part of what the studies bring you. I mean, like, did you benefit from actually studying a master's degree right after your bachelor's, or how did you get the job at
Basically, yes. Basically, my mine was a master's degree in Sicily, so it was 5 years. So it's like a master's degree. So the master was like a postgraduate master. So, but it was a postgraduate course. So in Milan. So it was very helpful because basically we have during that period we have an internship during that year, the one year for the interior design master. And so basically everything started doing my internship in Progetto CMR. And then basically I stayed there. I didn't move anymore.
So and how long was your experience at Progetto?
It was 1 year.
It was only 1 year. Okay, but that gave you already kind of the idea of the whole picture of what you wanted to do after, right? Because this was, even though it's an Italian company, it's international, right?
It's international, yes. It's a big firm. We were like 120 or 30 people, something like that.
That's interesting. I thought that most of the companies in Italy are similar to what we have here in Spain, like small boutique studios or medium size, but you actually have also corporations that are international. Got it.
Yes.
And I was reading also over your questions, your answers, that you also study Revit and Rhino at the same time, and that actually give you the options to access to this company?
It was very, very important actually, because they were looking for people who will be able to work on Revit. So actually Revit was a very important point for them.
And probably also the door that opened you to the American labor market as well, because Revit in the US is critical, is key.
I'm just working using Revit right now. So, and here is very important. It's very, being proficient in using Revit is very important for them. And so yes, absolutely, I agree. Like I can say to you guys, like if you think, not if you think, better saying, I think we should, yes, absolutely, we should be using this kind of softwares, and it's very important. So if you want to have a chance, for going outside or doing whatever you want, it's very important being proficient in using this.
It's like a passport, right? It's almost like a passport. That I actually think that that's a good way of looking at this. Like, many people are so afraid of getting their first job just because of what we just said. Like, okay, I don't have any previous experience. I'm sure that I'm not going to get like a proper position. It's going to be something from the very bottom. Well, everyone starts at some point. But I think that that's another way of getting ready for the labor market, right? Maybe you haven't got the chance to do any internship while you're studying, but you can keep educating yourself with other skills that maybe in your major are not that proficient, and that will give you the tools and the freedom to actually choose, or being able to access at least to more opportunities. So that's a good way to get ready. Exactly. And so that was not that long time ago, right? I mean, because
what the Revit course?
No, yeah, you finished. So basically, you finished your bachelor's. You just jump on your opportunity at Milan, and you were there for a year. And then right after, you moved to the US.
Yes,
right?
yes.
So tell us about that. It's a funny story. I wanna know it all.
Okay, so the interesting part. So at that time, I was looking for an opportunity in the US, and so
why was that? Because sorry, I cut you off, but I read that you were very determined about the US, Is because
Yes.
you had some connections or family,
No.
or why the US?
No. No. I mean, I have my basically the cousin, my mom's cousin. She's living here.
Okay.
But we have seen each other just once in my lifetime. So so basically it was like a very far.
I'm here. I'm losing you a little bit. Okay, now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we lost you for a second.
Okay.
Yeah. Me too.
Yes.
So sorry. Say that again. So you had your mom's cousin, but it was not the real reason.
Yes. Yes. But yes, we have seen each other just once a very long time ago. So it was not like a very it was not because of that. But you know, basically, I was just thinking. I want to be honest, okay? Los Angeles is very cool. I want to go to Los Angeles, right? I want to try.
Yes.
So you know, sometimes the very like the right answers are just the simplest. So the you know, it's cool. I want to go to Los Angeles.
That's it. There's nothing else.
That's it. No. So basically, I tried. I've been sending a lot of emails and while I was still in Italy, but it's very hard because okay, you can imagine like you receive an email from a guy on the other side of the planet, right? Saying that he wants to join your firm and he wants to work for you, but there is one problem. Okay, first of all, is like the immigration situation is very hard, you know. So we need visas and we need to organize everything, and it's very hard. The second and the most important, I guess, thing is that sometimes, you know, it's just a dream. Could be a dream, you know. Just I'm dreaming of, and blah blah. But maybe in the end, it's not something that you gonna reach because you're just dreaming of this new life. Of course, right?
If you don't take action, it won't happen. It won't make. No. It won't become.
So for people to take it seriously, it's very hard. You know, not because they are bad people, but because, you know, the situation is like it's far from them, and from you, from yourself too. So you know. So this is where basically I decided to leave Italy and coming here and speaking directly with in person with people.
Because you had tried before from Italy. I mean, did you apply for open positions?
Yes.
How many?
Oh my God! I don't remember the
I'm
number,
waiting for you. Oh my God!
Oh my God, guys! At least 100. Yes.
Yeah, I have a ratio actually. When I did follow exactly the same process that you're describing, like yes, super happy back home. I'm working at the time. I was working for Hezbollah in the Modern, so like a really interesting practice. But my dream, as you were explaining, was always to work in New York, right? And I had all that noise around me, like forget about it, Pati. I mean, that's impossible. You know, we were at the time still in the recession. You know, it was back in 2010 when I started applying. So it seemed like a very far away dream. But at the same time, I had my genes, you know, saying, Pati, you really have to try. I mean, if everyone thinks actually that it's impossible, that's better, because that means that less people will try, so you will have more chances.
This is what I thought.
Yeah, you always think like, okay, this is going to be impossible, you know, to reach that summit. And it's true, there might be very difficult obstacles in your way. But if you don't try, I mean,
you never know.
Then is when it becomes real impossible, right? So I remember trying myself, you know, sending resumes. I think that the ratio that I got, it was like 1 to 100 or something like that. So every 100 emails you send, maybe you get a response just saying like, well, thank you. We will reach out to you if, you know, we get an open position, something like that. And then you increase the number of applications that you submit, and by happens you get you know, an answer saying, okay, let's talk. I want to know more about you. But that's very frustrating, right? So I guess that at some point you just decided to pack your bags and
Yes,
travel.
yes. So I really wanted to be able to speak with people in person, you know, just presenting myself and presenting what I wanted to do, and very frankly, you know, without beating around the bush, you know, just saying the truth. So I'm here, and I want to try to stay here for a bit. I want to work here. So and
how was the process? I mean, did you tell us so then people can understand a little bit better what path did you follow? Like, did you just land in LA?
Okay, no. I've planned a lot. So yes, like having a good preparation is essential. Is essential. So it's true. I left everything and I just booked my flights. But before doing that, I've been preparing things for a long time.
Behind a plan, there must be always a strategy. That's for sure. If you don't have a strategy, it won't work. It won't work. So that's why we think that your story is very, very inspiring, because it can help, you know, people to make the move. So what was part of that preparation?
So okay, the first step was to understand the city in which. So you're going to Los Angeles, okay, you're going to New York, you're going to Miami, I don't know. The first step is to understand the city, how the city works. So
how to get around
with this,
it.
I mean, like, yes, I mean, like, what problem you potentially could have coming here with having no vehicle during the first time, having no experience, because it was my first time. So when I say to understand the city, I mean to understand how going around, how like which neighborhood are better, you know, where the offices are located.
So basically to do a proper research about the context,
it was essential.
How to move around, where are where are located the companies that you want to visit, and have all that documented, right?
Exactly. So like also having an idea of how big is the city.
Which is huge.
Like it's huge. It's absolutely huge. It's not even a city. We have different cities here, and then they are all connected by the highways. So you know, having an idea, it's very important, because especially if you come here and it's your very first time, and it was my very first time. So it was the first step was planning the trip, planning, you know, all these things in order not to waste time, because wasting time, I couldn't afford to waste time, basically, you know. I needed to be as more efficient as possible.
Because you got your tickets for a month, right?
For 30 days, yes. So I booked my first flight, and then I already I also booked the flight for coming back to Italy. So I was giving to myself 30 days.
Like a deadline.
Yes, like a countdown. Yes, it was very, very, very like I felt a lot of pressure, you know. Like you have 30 days, and you if you want to stay here, you need to find something. You need to find like a job, right? And
you were getting in love with the city more and more as you were staying, right? So yes. The pressure was increasing just because you
absolutely until the last day, basically, because the last day it's been when I received actually my contract. I was leaving. I was going back to the airport with nothing. So I was a bit sad, you know.
Yeah, I will tell you my story when we finish, just because it's seriously, it's very, very similar. But going back to the preparation, so the first recommendation for the people who are with us today is preparation. So doing a proper research, document everything, so you get the most out of your trip in the event that you just decided to pack your bags and try yourself. And then were you carrying out, printed portfolios, or how did you actually started the search while you arrived to LA?
Absolutely. The second step is to have a clear idea of what's your process is gonna be. It's gonna look like after you reach the United States. So you are here and you already know everything about the city. The second step is to propose yourself, right? Going physically to the office, and another very important part of your job is going to be understand the opportunities. So what opportunities are there right now? And so
open positions, you mean, to have ready a list of real open positions, not
exactly.
It was not only a matter of knocking on firms' doors just because
you're gonna waste time. You're gonna waste time otherwise. So you need to be as most efficient as possible. So you have to have a very clear idea of the open job positions. So this is a very big research. So it's you have to, everything has to be very, very clear. And so basically I wrote down some names of the offices, and it was I used to have my list, and with where these offices are, for example. So it was for example very it's been necessary to rent a car for the first month, because otherwise you can't go anywhere without having a vehicle. And yes, you need to have your own list of the offices and
and do you actually organize like a day by day kind of trip?
Yes, it was a job basically during the week, and during the weekend, because the offices of course are closed. I just also I needed some time for going around, for myself. So my week was 5 days and going around and just doing my job, and during the weekend just exploring the city, just being tourist.
Just in case this also help you guys to understand how far or how detailed your plan must be laid out. It's similar to what I do when I go to the US to visit companies. I normally go for 1 week. Now that I have family and kids, I actually get my plane on a Sunday evening, start my day on Monday morning and go to the airport flying back to Europe on a Friday evening. So I have Monday through Friday just to visit companies. I already get rid of the weekend for enjoying myself now that I'm a mom, I guess. But I mean, I could share with you, it's such a shame that I don't have it now with me. I have like a Google sheet with slots, and so I basically organized the trip to visit one company, including the commuting. So if the meetings normally run like around 30 minutes, 45 minutes, I book my day counting with the commuting. So I always give, in New York, I have the times very, very clear, like an hour and a half for each meeting, even though it's not an hour and a half. So probably you should do the same. Like if you're commuting, well, you won't be able to commute by public transportation in LA because it's almost impossible, right? you will
doesn't exist.
Yeah, that doesn't exist. You will have to rent a car in the case of LA. But even with that, you could prepare. You have to go to the point where you work with Google Maps or with Waze or any app that actually gives you the times that will take you at the specific time that you are planning to visit that company, based on traffic jams and things like that.
True.
How long it will take? Otherwise, you will see yourself running late for all your, all your.
And it's not good. It's not good. especially for the first meeting.
But I mean,
So,
for you didn't have any meetings booked, right? You were just going and
no.
walking the door.
Actually, no. Actually, I knocked on the doors, but also I used to have some meetings scheduled. Yes, arranged for the week, because like the first thing that I did was sending emails. But it was different because I was saying, look, I'm already here. I'm already in Los Angeles.
That's a good strategy. That's a good strategy.
So it was different. It was different.
Yeah. Another trick that maybe you can use from Daniele's experience. I mean, he was saying the truth that he was already there, but that's actually a good white lie that you could use. And then, at the end of the day, you are not, you cannot travel or something like that. Like you can just say, I will be in the city in 2 weeks, like if you're going to visit it. And then people, as it becomes more real, then they will actually listen to you and give you the option to continue the conversation or schedule a meeting or something. True. And then once you have them already engaged with you, obviously you won't have that, in-person interview, but you can say, I'm very sorry in the end, I cannot travel, but I hope that we can continue the conversation through a Zoom call or Skype or whatever, and it will work. Right?
Exactly. I totally agree. So it's very important. This is the reason why it's very important. So it's different. It's different because you can say I'm here, and we can arrange a meeting, and then we can, if everything goes well, we can continue the conversation through emails or through wherever.
Yeah, Ankana is asking us. Okay, we can, Ankana, if you don't mind, so we don't cut Daniele's, we can answer the questions just towards the end in terms of this particular one that is very specific about the visa paperwork. So continue. So, okay, so you have some prearranged interviews and, interviews and meetings, yes. Right, I guess.
Yes. Another problem was basically a lot of offices, they don't know how the situation with the visa for us works. So it's very hard to explain when it comes to, in terms of explaining the situation, how you actually could work here legally. So it's very hard because you need to explain the situation to them. And a lot of times, very often actually, they don't know anything about that. So
that's the reason why we exist.
Exactly. Thanks, guys. So yes. So in that case, you have to explain to them how the J1 works, how the process is gonna look like, and how long does it take, and like all these things, which is very important because they want to have an answer from you. They wanna know, where are you gonna be able to start working here?
And also you don't want to miss the opportunity in case they really fall in love with you.
That's true.
They just walk out the door from the meeting with you and thinking, yeah, he was really great, but for sure it's going to be super difficult to bring him because of the visa. Exactly. So you have to be prepared in that regard as well, right? Knowing your options.
Exactly, it's very important. So in explaining the situation is a very, very important. It's because sometimes people can be interested in you, but if the process is gonna take it's gonna take 3 months, and they need someone in the next 3 weeks, and then you're not gonna be here. So for them, it's gonna be a problem. Yeah. So sometimes you can just, I don't want to say that, but just lying a bit, saying no, the process is very short.
Here's the Italian speaking. Here's the Italian speaking. You see.
But it's a good thing. It's a good thing for both.
It's a white lie. It's a white lie.
Yes, it's a white lie.
No, but I think that you're right. I mean, and they would appreciate it even though you are using a white lie, just because many companies are gonna be really interested in you guys, but you know, not knowing the process, thinking, having all those preconceptions, thinking that it's gonna be either pricey or you know, very costly in terms of the time and so on. They might just dismiss your candidacy just because of that. So exactly. You want to have all the information ready in hand, and also even prepare, you know, for those questions. Actually, we have prepared, we can share this with you guys if you're interested, like the I think it's like the 60 most common questions you will be asked in an interview, and some of those are in this direction, like how to get ready for those tricky immigrational questions, so you don't miss the opportunity. So you have done also research about the visa. I just don't remember if you had contacted us before, or how did you? I don't remember.
Yes. I sent some emails asking information about the process of the J1 itself, because I wanted to be prepared, you know, in case of I needed to provide answers to them. And this is a very it's a very good point, because you have to be able to explain the process to them. They don't know anything, yeah. Right? So when I say lying a bit, you know, it's just saying, for example, the process was very short, actually. So it's true. Like it was, I remember, like, we applied for the visa during December. So with the, you know, Christmas holidays, basically in the middle of the period, but it was very fast.
It actually takes 30 days from the moment you have the offer.
Yes.
You know, over the table, and we start working with you towards getting your visa application ready. It takes 30 days for you to land, you know, in the US and start working. I mean, nowadays with the pandemic, the embassies, each country is different, might take a little bit longer, but the process itself is super fast.
It's very short, yes. So this is, for example, it could be a good answer to them, you know, just saying that the process is very short. You don't have to wait such a long time, right?
Yeah, I already have a sponsor. I have already started my application in terms of compiling my documents, or yeah.
That's true. Like the only thing you have to do is just you know, signing papers. So like it's important to explain in the most simple way how the situation is gonna look like. You know? For them, it's very important, because nobody wants to take the, you know, the risk of saying yes and then waiting 2 months for you to come.
That's true. Actually, that's a key point, what you just said. It's not a matter of you telling them about all the options, how the visa works, and getting too technical, because then they will, if you say something that sound, you know, too tedious for them, they can also think, okay, yeah, it's not worth it, you know, it's too much. So you just have to basically mention, like, you know, I already have a sponsor. That will be a white lie, in the sense that you need first the job offer in order for us to sponsor you. But at the same time, it's true, you know that you can rely on us for sponsoring you. So that will sound in their head like, okay, so this person has a great portfolio. We really like his background. You know, we enjoy the conversation during the interview, whether it's in person or through a call. And also, he's saying that he will take care of all the, you know, immigration bureaucracy. So, okay, let's see how this can actually become real, and then that'll be it, right? So yes. But what sort of obstacles did you face? Because you were saying that you got actually the job at the very, very last minute, right? So what happened with those 30 days before?
Okay, basically, I had my interview around like roughly after 15 days. I'm talking about my current office. Yeah. So as you see, even for them to send out the job offer, it takes time. It
Exactly.
took almost 15 days, like 10 days, wherever, 12 days. If you have 30 days, is a long time, right? So this is why I'm saying everything has to be as simple as possible. Very, just very, because just for sending out the contract, it took 12 days.
Oh, so you actually meet them. So you actually met them before. It was not like the last meeting that you had.
I met. Yes, I had the interview after 15 days. I got here, but I used to have just 30 days. So as you see, 15 days, and then you add 12, 14, 15, wherever, and you already reached 30 days, and I was leaving. So actually, I received the job offer the same day I was leaving Los Angeles.
Wow.
This is yes. I was having my breakfast that day.
And then all of a sudden you got the email. That's fantastic.
Yes, I received the email, and at that moment I was eating my breakfast. I was having breakfast, and I was about to go to the airport. And so at some point I received the email on my phone with the PDF of the job offer attached.
That's awesome. That's
awesome.
It
was very intense. It was very intense. But
and how many interviews did you actually happen to have?
Here I think like 6, if I'm not wrong. It's not it's not bad because it takes time. It takes time, and I like other officers were interested, but the problem was explaining the situation. So sometimes it's hard, and it's not easy.
So let's say that, I mean, we are not saying, guys, that you have to all get in a plane and move to the US to get the job, right? That was the adventure that Daniele decided to have. I'm sure that you would have got it because of your attitude. You have a great attitude to make things happen. But, one way is doing that, getting some holidays and knocking firms' doors with a very strategic plan, as you can see. But we can actually transfer this plan to like an online search, right? I mean, they could do exactly the same thing. I mean, when you are job hunting, you actually, it's like a full-time job, as you said, regardless whether you're looking for a job in your city or in another country, right? But it's very important that you have that plan layout in advance.
Absolutely.
And what sort of questions were you facing, the most tricky ones besides visa? I mean, is there any other recommendation that you would give our audience in terms of getting ready?
I mean, actually, all the questions were about the visa process, because usually, if you have if you are able to present yourself in a good way, just showing the portfolio and the resume and all these things, like it's a very quick thing, so like the next step is asking you about the visa process. But like, I don't know, other questions, for example, was something about the phases. My first experience, I'm talking about the job phases, our job. So my first job was focused on the development of concept design and schematic design. So it was the very first part of our job. But here, for example, I'm doing another completely another thing. I'm working on the construction documentation using Revit. So I'm doing a different job,
and which is great.
Yes. So like, you have to learn the process. The process is different, and the terminology, for example, the words, the technical words are sometimes tricky.
So those are the main challenges you have
To adapt myself, yes, to adapt myself to a different job, because it's a different job. You're not designing things anymore. You're just working on the like very strategic part of the development of the project itself.
That's actually one of the questions that many companies normally place. Like, are these guys? Because as some of you know, we help Daniele through the J1 visa program. So he already got the offer, and we help him with the visa. But we also have the Job Plus J1 visa program, where we actually help international architects to get a job offer first from their home country, without this beautiful adventure that Daniele had, and then sponsoring their visa. And so many companies, when we send them potential candidates for them to consider, they ask us, okay, this guy or this lady look amazing, like a great fit for what we're looking for. However, are they ready for working on imperial system? Or do they have any sort of knowledge in terms of our, regulations or code, or, even a specific software like Revit, or any specifics that they're looking for. So that is another thing that you could get ready, right? So you can, without them having to question whether you know anything about Revit, or if you have worked with Imperial, you could kind of train yourself a little bit. There are tons of tutorials and exercises online. And you mentioned, and I am actually have already done this little project in Imperial system. That will give yourself more credibility as well.
Yes, that's true. So be prepared also for this type of questions. Have you ever worked on something using the Imperial system, or like all the different phases, or like, do you know like how the process works for the construction documentation? Like, do you have experience on that? Of course, I didn't, but if you show to people that you have a positive attitude, and you're yes. So you just also, like, in this case, having a conversation in person with people, you can demonstrate to them that you are very determined in doing something, and you're here for learning, not for joking. So it's very important. This is like, it's a good point, because it's something that you can't show through emails.
That's totally true. That's always very important to go through that first. I think that the most difficult part is actually to get the interview, right? Because if you're strong and you have the capabilities, and you are self-confident, as Daniele proved, you will be able to just basically talk about your work, what you can contribute to the company during the interview. The most difficult part is to get the interview. That's why the white lie might help you at the very beginning.
Exactly.
And then you will just do the rest during the interview.
Yes.
So and what are your plans now? Because your program is coming to an end soon, right?
Yes, I wanted to say the last thing about the.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Yeah, no, I think it's just remember that it's very important. The budget is not cheap.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
It's not cheap. So, like,
I've been.
Yes, like, you can think maybe it's easy to come here and spending 1 month here, just going around and renting a car and having lunch and dinner, wherever. It's not easy in terms of budget. You need to have a budget, you need to plan also, like, how much you're gonna
your expenses
spend. Yes. So, and it's not cheap. Los Angeles in particular, it's not a cheap city. So this is why you also need to have a plan for your own budget, because otherwise you're gonna spend a lot of money, and maybe, if don't receive a positive answer, you just basically wasted your money and your time and everything. So this is what I'm saying when I say you have to be prepared about everything, you know, just having a plan for even for the budget.
That's true. And that kind of reminds me one of the reasons why I kind of founded this program. You know, I was at the time working and living in New York with a stable job, but I saw that, you know, the path that I follow, similar to what you did, you know, I just worked really, really hard to get on a scholarship that opened me the doors to an internship in New York, even though I wasn't not an intern anymore. I mean, I was already experienced, but anyway, that gave me the opportunity. But after many years working in New York and seeing that most of my friends have made it through the academia path, that's another way of doing it, you know, studying in the US, you know, not everyone can afford that. Not everyone can afford a month in a city like LA, New York, San Francisco, Chicago, or they cannot afford either like a year English course, just living on their own, you know, savings, or just paying for masters. That's actually very, very hard to keep for most of the people, right? So that's the reason why, you know, I actually dream of creating a program where we could help young internationals, and by building the bridge between them and US-based companies without the need of traveling to the US for doing interviews or having to pay like you know, education in the US, because it's very, very expensive. So that's the most rewarding part, I guess.
That's right. I thank you guys very a lot. Like it wouldn't be possible without you, of course.
No, well, you did it yourself. In your case, it's very inspiring because, you know, there might be also people that just, you know, work hard during some time, get some savings because the dream is to work in the US, and they follow that path. That I think that's an option. It's true that it won't be the option for many people, but it's there, and we will help you in either way or the other. You know, we're here for that. But it's very inspiring what you did. I think it speaks out of what sort of not only architect you are, but also what sort of human being you are. And I can wait to see what's next in your career. I mean, you have all the ingredients to succeed. So, but tell us, so your program is coming to an end in a few months, if I recall correctly.
In July, yes.
Well, yeah, you still have a few months. But I know that you didn't have the best experience of it because of COVID. Right? But I mean, I know that you enjoy, right? I mean, I don't know any participant that stayed through the pandemic that are willing to actually leave the US. Everyone wants to stay.
Oh, me too. Yeah, like I had very great times so far, and I love to stay here. So even with the COVID, of course, like I'm not meeting many people, but you know, it's okay. So I'm just waiting for better times. I'm doing something else. So I don't know. For example, I love to go around to the canyons. I don't have a car. I just decided to buy a motorcycle in the end.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
But I mean, it doesn't take you very long to travel around the city with that, or
absolutely,
is it like a big one?
No. It's even better because you don't have to wait for the traffic. The traffic doesn't exist for you. So just going around.
You just play Sicilian, right?
Yes. No. Here's the line splitting is legal. Is perfectly legal for the California. Okay. Yes, I took 2 exams for the car driving license and the motorcycle driving license. So I studied twice.
Oh wow! Yes. That's amazing.
So it's a good thing. You know, as I said, I'm doing something else and just exploring places. I've been to Hawaii. It was one of my dreams. So you know, you need to find a solution even for during this particular situation. We have
to continue. Life continues.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
And
being careful, but
And so you're trying to stay. You're considering other options.
Yes. So I would like to stay here. I'm gonna, I'm not very. I have not. I don't have a very clear idea of my future situation because I'm still working on it. But just having an idea is better than having none.
Exactly.
So
Yeah. I would add another recommendation. Thinking, I mean, going back to where I was at your position. I remember that my program was for only 10 months because it was a scholarship, and so I remember like after 3 months arriving in landing in New York, I was already planning, okay, what's next? Because when you are subjected to a visa, a time frame, you really have to, plan. You're always planning until you get the citizenship or a green card or something like that. You have to be intention in terms of.
It was like my 30 days trip, my 30 days. So it's a bit longer.
Exactly. So I remember not knowing whether I wanted to stay or not, but I really, really hate that just fate decides for me, or the system decides for me. So I said, okay, I'm going to do all what I can to have a plan B and plan C in the event I want to stay. And if at the end of the day I decide, I realize that I actually want to go back or do something else, it will be me.
But it's going to be up to you.
Yes. Yeah. So probably you are doing the same thing, right? Consider options.
Yes.
So that's a good way to approach it.
Yes, I'm trying to I'm looking for new job opportunities in also other offices. Also because when you maybe they're better than me, but when we are young and we need to demonstrate to the other people what's our value is a fast way for growing is going up is just moving around and changing situations. Maybe not like for in the long term is not a good thing because changing every year it can be you
can do that for a little bit of time when you are starting your career.
Yes, the first years I think is very necessary. And it's also is very it's very good because you can have different experiences as I did, for example. For example, my first job opportunity was was focused on interior design and concept design and schematic design, and then here I'm working on construction documentation. So just changing situation is very useful.
That will help towards your versatility as an architect.
It's true.
And that will give you also more kind of phases in terms of different potential opportunities that come your way in the future. So I totally agree that when you're starting your career, it's actually good that you're exposed to different type of work and experiences. After a few years, that can be seen actually, negative if you're just moving around all the time. But I mean, when you are studying, I think that's totally, it's actually very positive.
No, I think you really have to, it's very important.
And so we have some questions here because I think that we are getting close to the end. So Ibiandoni, I don't know if that is your real name or just Instagram, but anyway, he was asking how much budget you were talking about for a month. I don't know if you can share that with us or just give us a range.
No, it's okay. Now I don't remember perfectly, but if I'm not wrong, flying tickets were around 1,000.
1,000 from Italy.
1,000, yes, 1,000, and then
we're talking about euros in this case, right?
Yes, in euros, yes. So the rent is very expensive here, as in every big city is very expensive usually. I think also New York. So for 1 month here, I guess was around
1,500 or something.
Yes,
like that?
Something like that. Dollars, yes. So at least I guess for 1 month in Los Angeles, we are talking about 2,500 maybe.
Yeah, dollars. US dollars.
Yes.
Okay, plus the ticket. So let's
No,
say
with the ticket maybe, you know. Oh, no, sorry. Yeah, yes, plus the ticket. Sorry.
plus the ticket, right? Because if it was 1,500 plus, so something around that. Maybe with $3,000 you could make it. So I mean, or
True.
3,500. I don't know.
I mean, if you want to have a little bit of fun, also just going around.
Exactly. That's the key question. We always get like 3 questions. How much money I'm gonna get? How much is going to cost? What is the cost of living? And also, what sort of experience the companies are expecting? And the 3 questions are very, very open questions. I mean, it really depends. The first 2 ones, it really depends on your own interest. Like in a city like New York, for instance, is not the same willing to live by yourself in a studio or sharing an apartment in downtown Brooklyn with someone, right? Or willing to travel every weekend, or just walking around the city to explore yourself. It really depends on you.
Yes,
and
yes,
in terms of how much companies are gonna pay you, it really depends on the type of company, the size, the city, your profile. So there are many factors. So and in terms of, Grayscale was saying that they use imperial system in India. That's great. You count on that already.
That's great.
Yeah. Basically,
I still don't understand like Fahrenheit and Celsius.
It's seriously, it was the most difficult thing for me at the time, because I was working for James Carpenter Design in New York, that all his design process was through physical model, right? So I was doing a lot of physical models, and they were asking me to go to buy the boards and everything, using the laser cut, building the Rhino model and everything was in imperial. I was like, oh my God, these guys, what do they do this to them? I mean,
yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy. I mean, we don't think with using fractions, we just add numbers. But
yeah, even though he was also asking what sort of portfolio, offices in LA look for mostly. I mean, I think that it really depends on the type of company.
Depends on the firm itself. It's not like we can't speak generally, because it's very up to the firm itself.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that there was another one, and we will finish unless you have something else to say, because you gotta go to work.
True.
Is that when you get a contract, how was the visa paperwork? In your case, you had everything already organized with us before you got the job? I just don't remember. Just with the visa.
And so the process was, I received my job offer, and then I recontacted you saying, hey, I'm here. I got it. So we can start the process.
Yeah, but you had already contacted us before. Yes. So I think that's important for you to get all the information, going back to what you were suggesting, right? So if you are planning to apply for a job opportunity in the US yourself, whether it's online, whether it's visiting offices in the US, it doesn't really matter. The process will be the same in terms of the paperwork. We recommend you to contact us in advance so we can make sure you have all your documentation ready. We help you to get your portfolio up to speed and the CV. And the most important part is what Daniela was saying, understanding the process so you can actually explain yourself to the company, right?
That's true.
I think that was it. Oh my God, there are too many here. I cannot.
I see like Rhino, Revit, AutoCAD. I don't use AutoCAD. I think Revit is very common here, so I definitely recommend Revit. And Rhino is another thing. Like Revit you can use Revit for the construction documentation. Like you can use Revit from the concept design to the construction documentation. So you can keep all the project in the Revit file, but Rhino is for just another thing. Rhino is very good for modeling, you know. So
and design process too, right?
And yes, but not for like, you don't use Rhino for the construction documentation, you know. So it's a different thing. I mean, but it's a good tool.
It's a good thing to have both, because that will give you the versatility to approach the same project in different phases, right?
That's true.
If you land in a project where you're gonna be focusing on the early stages of it, Rhino will help you to be very fast and dynamic in terms of proposing ideas. That's very important. If you want to become important in or an integral member of a design team, but then Revit will give you credibility to actually, you know,
sure.
Go up in the ladder.
Is the next step, you know, like,
yeah,
it's very important.
So I think that was it in terms of questions. Daniele, oh my God, I love talking to you. It's been lovely, super relaxed chat. Thank you for taking me back from my mommy's duties. I'm so sorry for missing the last one with Christina, but I'm happy that I was able to join you and meet you in person. Please, keep posting all those beautiful images about your experience. You make us very, very jealous.
I will.
And yeah, we will follow you closely. We wish you all the best. Please let us know if you need anything. We will be here. Once in the Architect US family, forever. Have you visited Las Vegas yet?
Yes, I've been to Vegas once. During COVID, so it was not like the real Vegas. But
oh my God, that must be a very interesting experience. Actually, was it like a ghost city?
I have a lot of things to tell you. It was a different.
We have to organize another one then with you, so you tell us about your story.
I mean, whenever you want, I'm done for it. It was a different city anyway, so it was not like the real Vegas. I mean, I've never been in the real Vegas, so it was my first experience. But I could feel that something was different, you know. So like, also because a lot of places are like, you know, think about casinos and clubs, and you know, all this is a fun city, but everything is inside a room, basically, whether for casinos or like clubs.
There's nothing outdoors besides the pool parties during the summertime.
Exactly, during the